Hey there, Celtics Nation! We got some hot updates today that are guaranteed to get every green heart racing, from a thrilling win that locked in a top playoff seed, to behind-the-scenes whispers about potential reinforcements and big-name veterans possibly changing the team's course. This is one you don't want to miss. So grab your seat, smash that like button, and let's dive straight into the news. The TD Garden was rocking, and for good reason. With a dominant performance, the Celtics took down the Milwaukee Bucks 124-107 last Friday and officially secured the best record in the 2024-2025 NBA regular season. That's right, folks. The road to the playoffs runs through Boston. Home court advantage start to finish. But the win wasn't just big, it was the way they won that turned heads. Jason Tatum was unstoppable. He dropped 37 points, including 6 triples, a few thunderous dunks, and that calm, commanding leadership we've come to expect. And he wasn't alone. Jaylen Brown brought the fire with 29 points and 9 boards, proving once again this could be the year for Boston's dynamic duo. But the cherry on top, it came off the bench, and what a cherry it was. Peyton Pritchard, often doubted in big moments, was an energy machine. Running the floor while Tatum caught his breath, Pritchard put up 13 points, handed out 5 assists, and helped hold the lead when the Bucks started to push back. His performance is making waves across U.S. sports media. Analysts from ESPN and The Athletic are pointing to Boston's depth as a true X factor this postseason. Joe Mazzulla, usually measured, even cracked a smile in the post-game presser. "It's great knowing we've got our fans behind us all the way," he said, "but it only matters if we make it count." And he's spot on. Having the best record isn't a trophy, it's a target. And this team seems to be loving the pressure. A huge piece of that win? The relentless defense from Derek White and Drew Holiday. They absolutely clamped Damian Lillard, holding him to just 14 points and forcing 6 turnovers. Lillard left the court visibly frustrated, muttering something about not being able to breathe with those guys on me. The crowd? Unreal, as always. Chants of "We want Banner 18" echoed through the rafters like a prophecy. And honestly, if they keep playing like this, who's gonna stop them? But hang on, because while the celebration was loud, something very interesting went down behind the scenes. Someone was spotted in the TD Garden's VIP area talking with Brad Stevens after the game. Yep, an ex-All-Star with Celtics history, and he might be eyeing a return. And that wasn't even the day's biggest bombshell. In a scoop that hit NBA insiders like a freight train, Rajon Rondo was reportedly seen in a private meeting with Brad Stevens and members of the Celtics coaching staff. The buzz. Rondo might be returning to Boston, not as a player, but as part of the coaching team next season. And let's be real, it makes total sense. Rondo has always been known for his genius-level basketball IQ. Even back in his playing days, he was practically a coach on the floor. His court vision is unreal, and his legacy in Boston speaks for itself. Champion in 2008, the brain behind the Garnett, Pierce, Allen trio. And now, he could be the strategic mastermind on the bench, mentoring the next generation chasing that elusive banner 18. According to NBC Sports Boston, Rondo and Stevens talked for nearly an hour post-game. Sources called the convo warm, focused, and strategic. And as Rondo left, he was seen laughing with Tatum and chatting with Drew Holiday. Coincidence? I don't think so. So what could this mean for the Celtics? First, a huge tactical boost for the coaching staff. Joe Mazzulla's got a modern pace and space style. Rondo could bring in that old school cerebral balance. Together? That's a potentially lethal combo. Second, mentorship for young guards like Pritchard and J.D. Davison. Imagine them learning under Rondo. Decision making, tempo control, vision. It'd be a massive leap in development. Third, locker room presence. Rondo's been through the wars. He knows what it takes to win in Boston. That silent leadership, it could be the emotional edge that separates contenders from champions. Nothing's official yet. No contract signed. But insiders like Shams Charania and Chris Mannix say there's strong mutual interest. And a deal could be announced right after the playoffs, no matter how the season ends. So yeah, the wheels are already in motion. The fan base? Split. Some are hyped about Rondo's possible return, seeing it as a bridge between our glorious past and our promising future. Others, wary, remembering how his last stint ended and wondering if he'd clash with the current staff's vibe. But while we're all buzzing about Rondo, something even bigger is brewing. A key player on the roster is reportedly unhappy with his minutes and could be on his way out. And we're not talking about just anyone. When a starter starts showing signs of frustration, the whole locker room feels it. That's exactly what's happening with Malcolm Brogdon. Sources close to the Celtics say he's not thrilled with his reduced role and may be looking for a change this offseason. And let's be honest, this isn't just smoke. It's a potential wildfire. Since arriving in Boston, Brogdon's been the picture of professionalism. He's been clutch off the bench and a major spark for the second unit. Remember, he was the 2023 Sixth Man of the Year. But even with solid averages this season, 12.4 PPG, 4.1 APG, his role has shrunk, especially in crunch time. Mazzulla's been leaning hard on the Holiday White duo late in games, defensively. And tactically, it checks out. But it's left Brogdon on the sidelines, and he's not loving it. Case in point, last week's game versus the Heat. Close fourth quarter, Celtics offense stalled, and Brogdon never saw the floor in the final 5 minutes. According to insider Adam Himmelsbach, Brogdon's already spoken with his agent about exploring trade options if his role doesn't shift. Word is this has already reached Brad Stevens, who's seeing ears. And while nothing's gone public yet, the tension is very real. What does this mean for Boston? First, locker room chemistry could take a hit. Playoffs demand unity. Any internal friction could mess with the flow. Second, Brogdon's a valuable trade chip. Reasonable contract, proven skill set, still in his prime. If the Celtics move him, they could target specific needs, like a more reliable backup big. Third, once again, the fan base is divided. Some back Mazzulla's trust in White and Holiday. Others point out Brogdon's playoff poise and clutch DNA. Bench him now, and you risk losing a key weapon when the lights are brightest. So, does Brogdon stick it out? Or is the summer shakeup coming? And as if that wasn't dramatic enough, draft season is adding fuel to the fire. A direct Eastern rival may be plotting to steal Boston's top target in the first round. The NBA draft is a jungle, and when predators smell blood, it's chaos. Word just leaked that the Miami Heat are eyeing the same prospect Boston has been tracking closely. Walter Clayton Jr., the March Madness star from Florida, who's been a major focus for Brad Stevens. And here's the kicker. ESPN and The Ringer report the Heat might trade up to grab Clayton before the 20th rule. Pick currently projected to be Boston's. If that happens, it's a triple gut punch. First, Miami boosts its backcourt with a killer shooter who hits 44% from deep and thrives under pressure. Imagine Clayton next to Harrell catching dimes from Butler. Yikes! Second, Boston misses out on a budget-friendly talent who could help balance their expensive core of Tatum, Brown, and Porzingis. Third, and this one stings, it's a slap in the face to Brad Stevens, who's been in talks with Clayton's camp since March Madness ended. Internal sources say Stevens sees him as a more explosive Peyton Pritchard, a perfect fit for Boston's identity. Even Al Horford praised the kid live on air. But don't panic, yet. The Celtics are considering 3 strategies to land. Clayton, if they sense he won't fall to 28, trade up using future picks plus a rotation player with a team looking to rebuild. Flip the 28th pick for a combo of pick plus veteran to leapfrog Miami in the order. Cross fingers and pray other teams. Opt for safer options, letting Clayton slide, like Shabazz Napier once did. Tensions are sky high. Celtics fans are lighting up social media, demanding Stevens pull a rabbit out of the hat. No one wants to see a gem like this land in enemy territory, especially not with Horford's stamp of approval and the potential gator-to-gator chemistry in the locker room. But the clock is ticking, and the war room is heating up. The only question is, will Brad make his move in time, or watch Miami laugh their way to the podium? And if you think that was wild, wait for this final bombshell, because it's about to blow up the comments. 4 headlines, 4 firestorms, and 1 undeniable truth. The Celtics are right in the eye of the storm. Home court locked up, Rondo potentially back as the coaching brain, Brogdon possibly out, and the Heat coming for a draft day heist. So now it's your turn. Is the front office playing chess or just playing with fire? Would you keep Brogdon? Trade up for Clayton? And if Rondo comes back, does it change everything? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like, hit subscribe, and let's talk. Because this one's gonna get real.